Hey, this is Elizabeth with Mad for Macrame, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to crochet this bunny basket using a new stitch and how to make these chunky ears. For supplies, you'll need a 6-inch wooden base. This one has 32 holes and each hole is 10 millimeters. You'll need a 9 and a 7 or a 9 and an 8 millimeter crochet hook, some scissors, and a tapestry needle. For cord, I'm using Bobbiny's 5 millimeter braided, and I'll place a list of the supplies in the description and a link up above for you. For round 1, you want to leave your starting tail about 6 inches long. I like to create a loop. Now, starting off by using your smaller crochet hook, we used a smaller one to attach the cord to the wooden base. It's just a little easier for this hook to fit in the holes. So on the base, pick any hole to start and insert your hook. Now add that loop to the end of your hook and then pull it through. Now make sure you grab your working cord, and I like to hold the tail on the back of the base with my finger just so this doesn't slip through. We're going to complete a full round of slip stitches, and to make a slip stitch you want to insert your hook in the next hole. Now you want to take the cord and go over your hook. That's called yarn over. Turn your hook down and pull that loop through. Now pull that loop through the one that's already on your hook. And again, you insert your hook in the next hole, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then pull that loop through the one on your hook. You'll make slip stitches in every hole around the base except for the last hole. I'll meet you back there and show you how we use that tail to close this round and finish it off. On this last hole, you're going to switch from using your working cord to using your tail. So grab the tail, and I like to hold that working cord down on the back just so it keeps my stitches tight. Now insert your hook in that last hole, and instead of bringing the yarn over your hook, I just like to put it underneath my hook and pull it through. Now pull that loop through the one on your hook and pull it all the way through so we can close this round. We want to make a fake stitch or an invisible close to finish the round. Underneath that first slip stitch that we created, we're going to insert our hook from the back to the front underneath that slip stitch. Now pull that tail through. To finish this off, we're making a V, so we want that tail to go through the center of the last slip stitch that we made on this round. So it'll need to go right through the center of this last V right here. So I find it easiest if you flip the base over after you find that stitch and insert your hook in that hole. That'll bring it through the center of that stitch. Now you can pull the tail through. For round 2, we're going to work our stitches behind those slip stitches. You need to find where that tail is sticking out, this hole here. That's where we're going to begin. So insert your hook behind the slip stitch directly into the wooden base, into the hole. And you know you're in the right spot when you find that tail sticking out. Grab your working cord and pull up a loop, and then chain 1. That just kind of locks this in place. For the rest of the round, we're going to make single crochets. In the very next hole behind the slip stitch, insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop. Before we do that, I think I'm going to go ahead and add my tail on top of my hook. That will hide it. As we stitch, we'll actually place the stitches around that tail. So yarn over, pull up a loop. Now we have 2 loops on our hook. Then yarn over again and pull through both. That's a single crochet. So again, you insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. We have 2 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through both. You'll do that in each hole around the base. After round 2, this is when I like to change to my 9mm hook. You could also use a 10 if that's more comfortable. For each round, we're going to use something called the invisible join to join our rounds. So go ahead and pull your hook out, making that last loop a little bit bigger. And to make this invisible join, you want to find this top V, the first V on the round, and insert your hook from back to front. Now add that loop on your hook and pull it through. Directly below this loop, we have some stitches on the side, not the top stitches, but the ones that are below that. They're like little V's. You want to insert your hook directly below the loop and to the right in this V here. So these are the V's. Let me show you. So here is a V, here is a V. Each one of these posts make a V. So below the loop and to the right, you'll see 2 posts that come together and make that V shape. This is where we're going to insert our hook. So push your hook through and you'll feel it go through the center of that stitch on the outside of the base. Now on the back side, you can see that it's in the center because we have this little loop at the bottom, and then we have those 2 pieces of cord on either side of our hook. Now yarn over and pull up a loop, stretch that loop up, add that second loop on your hook. Now we have 2 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through both. We're going to continue making waistcoat stitches, which are just like single crochets. We're going to insert our hook in these side V's. So the next V, these 2 little posts that come together to make a V right here, that's where we're going to insert our hook. So push your hook through that center of that V. Make sure that it's between those 2 posts. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Now we have 2 loops on our hook. Yarn over and pull through both. You'll continue making waistcoat stitches for the entire round. Here's the next V. We pull up a loop, and then we yarn over and pull through both. After round 3, you can see how the stitches naturally start to turn upward. Well, we actually want to push those stitches down, forcing them in the opposite direction. You want the V's showing on the outside of the basket and the slip stitches on the bottom. For rounds 4 through 9, you're going to join each round using that invisible join and make diagonal waistcoat stitches. And to do that, again, you want to make your loop a little bit bigger, and then underneath this top stitch, you want to insert your hook from the back to the front, pulling that loop through. And you want to make sure that your loop isn't too big or too small. And if it's too big, you can pull back on your working cord just to tighten it down a bit. It just needs to be big enough for your hook to fit through it. For this invisible join, we're going to continue using our side V's, but this time we're going to use this V at a diagonal. Directly below the loop, you see our V's on the side. So here are our V's, the 2 posts. Below the loop and to the right, this is the V where we want to insert our hook. Normally we would insert it through the center of this V. So down and to the right, we would normally insert here. But because we're using those diagonal waistcoat stitches, we're going to insert our hook to the right of the V, still bringing it through the center of that stitch. So on the inside, you'll still see that little loop at the bottom with those 2 posts on the side. Below the loop and to the right, here's the V. We insert our hook at an angle on the right side of that V, pushing it through the center of that stitch. And again, on the inside, you'll see that we have that little loop and the 2 posts. So yarn over and pull up a loop, stretching that loop up. Now add that second loop on your hook, yarn over and pull through both. This is how you'll begin each round. Now for the diagonal waistcoat stitches. They're very similar. We're still going to use these side V's, and in the next V here, we're going to insert our hook on the right side, pushing that hook at an angle, still bringing that hook through the center of that stitch. You can see here we have that little loop on the bottom, and then we have our 2 posts on either side. You want to yarn over, pull up a loop. Now we have 2 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through both. Again, you insert your hook on the right side of the V, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both. And that's what you'll do for the rest of the rounds on this basket until we get to the top when we make the ears. I'm going to finish that up and then I'll meet you back. Here are a couple helpful tips. If your basket starts to squeeze inward in the middle, your tension may be a little bit too tight. You can go up a hook size, maybe go up to a 10mm hook, or make sure that your tension is nice and loose. Keep your loops a little bit bigger and make sure that you don't pull back on your working cord or tighten down on the loop on your hook. Also, working on a flat surface is really helpful. I find if I crochet in my lap, that was pulling my stitches to the right. I think I pull my crochet hook over to the right side when I work while sitting in a chair or something. So on a flat surface, and make sure that you bring that crochet hook straight up with those loops. I hope you find these tips helpful so you can make a nice round basket. For round 10, this is where we begin making our bunny ears. To begin, we're going to use that invisible join again, just like the previous rounds. So we pull our loop through, and then below that loop and to the right, we're going to insert our hook to the right side of that V, yarn over, pull up a loop, stretch that loop up, and add that second loop on our hook. Now yarn over and pull through both. You'll need to make 13 waistcoat stitches, or diagonal waistcoat stitches, excuse me, to get to the first bunny ear. We have our invisible join and then 13 of those diagonal waistcoat stitches. And now it's time to make our first bunny ear. To do this, we're going to make a chain of 7. And to make a chain, you want to yarn over, so bring that cord over your hook, turn your hook down, and then pull that loop through the one on your hook. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now, if you'll flip that chain over to the back side, you see we have 7 of these V's on the front. And on that back side, I know it's kind of hard to see here, we have these little back bumps. So right here between each stitch, there's a little back bump that runs down the center of the chain. This is where we're going to place our bunny ear stitches. There's 7 of these. And you're going to start by using that first back bump closest to your hook. In this first stitch, we're going to make a double crochet. To make a double crochet, you want to yarn over, so bring that cord over your hook. Now insert that hook in that first back bump. It's a little tight. Yarn over again and pull up a loop. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over and pull through 2 again. And that's a double crochet. In the next back bump, you can see it directly below the one we just used right here. This is where we're going to place our next stitch, and it's a triple crochet. So it's very much like a double. We're going to yarn over, and then we're going to yarn over again, making it a triple. We have 3 loops on our hook, so we're going to insert our hook in that back bump and the next one. Yarn over and pull up a loop. Now we have 4 loops on our hook, and we're going to yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. And then yarn over and pull through 2 again. We need 3 more of those triple crochets, working in those back bumps. Again, we yarn over twice and insert our hook. Pull up another loop. Yarn over, pull through 2. Again, pull through 2, and one more time, pull through 2. Here's our third triple crochet. We need one more. In the next back bump, we're going to make another double crochet. So we just need to yarn over one time. And for the double, remember you insert your hook in that back bump, yarn over, pull up a loop. That will give us 3 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Almost finished. Our ear is looking nice. You may have to make a few little adjustments. In that very last back bump, we want to bring that ear in at the bottom and make it tighter. So in this last back bump, we're just going to make a single crochet. So you insert your hook underneath that back bump, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both. To attach the ear to the basket, we're just going to continue with our diagonal waistcoat stitches. So here's our ear, and we want it to stand up tall. So in that next V, we're going to make a diagonal waistcoat stitch, and that will hold that ear in place. Pull this a little tighter. There we go. And our ear is attached now. We want 5 of these diagonal waistcoat stitches between our ears, so it gives some space between them. So that was 1. We need to make 4 more. And that will get us to that second ear, and then we'll repeat the process again. Now that we're ready for our second ear, we're going to do those stitches all over again. So remember, we need to chain 7, and I like to make sure I don't make this chain too tight, or it's really hard to make those stitches in those back bumps. Okay, we have 7. And then on the back side, I'm going to put a list on the screen of the stitches in order so you can see them. So here's our first back bump. We make a double. Now we need 4 triple crochets. Now we have 2 of the back bumps left. So we need to make a double and the next stitch, and then in the last stitch we need to make a single crochet. To attach the ear, just continue making your diagonal waistcoat stitches and then finish up the round with those same stitches. I'll meet you back and show you how to do round 11 for those finishing touches. For the last round, we're going to make slip stitches. So insert your hook under this first top stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, and then pull that loop through the one on your hook. You're going to make slip stitches in each one of these top stitches around the basket, including around the ears. That will give our basket a nice wide edge and help our ears stand up straight. And when you get to the ears, make the slip stitches around the ears just a bit tighter than you do around the basket. This helps them hold their shape. After finishing your slip stitches, you can go ahead and clip your cord. And I like to leave my tail about 7 or 8 inches long, just so I can weave it in and make sure that my basket is secure. Now pull that tail all the way through and use your tapestry needle to finish this last slip stitch. Underneath this next stitch that runs around the outside, not this one, but the next one, where we started those slip stitches, insert your needle from the bottom of that stitch, bringing it up to the top. We're just making one of those V's. So now you want to take this tail and it needs to go through the center of that last slip stitch that we made. So right here in the center of this V, straight through the basket, and then pull it through. Make a few adjustments just so all your stitches are the same size and it looks seamless. And now you can weave in this tail behind a few of the inside stitches and clip off any excess cord. And your bunny basket is finished. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel for more basket making videos.